And now, Freelance Heroism presents Dragon Heist.
Hey everybody, and welcome to Freelance Heroism. My name is Dees.
And I'm Rachel.
And before we even get started, we just want to say thank you to everyone out there who donates at the Patreon, in particular those who donate at the producer tier. Rachel, would you like to let us know who they are?
I would love to. We want to say thank you to Duncan, Nate, Breakmeister, Rebecca, and Chris Sones. Thank you so much, everyone.
You help us make a better show for everyone, and we couldn't do it without you. We really appreciate it.
Yes.
Rachel, you had a problem with some people.
Well, I was witness to a problem amongst
You were
people.
witness to a problem? Take a side,
witness.
motherfucker.
And I thought it was interesting of these like sort of different interpretations of what was happening. And I wanted to get your perspective on it.
You want to get the professional viewpoint. I get it.
So I was at it was like a Home Depot or Lowe's or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And the only registers open literally were the self-checkouts.
Right.
And it was like 4 self-checkouts in this little station, you know, like 2 on one side, 2 on the other. But they sort of shared like a little cubicle area.
Right.
And one of them on one side was out of order. So there was already like a line there. So I get in line and it's one line for like these 4 different checkout stations. And there's a guy near the front of the line who is like actively policing to make sure that everyone realizes this is one line for all of these machines. So as soon as one becomes available, whoever is in front, that's the one they go to. It's not like a you're
and he's not an
lined
employee. He's just in line.
He's just in line.
Right.
And so there's not like a line for the left side and a line for the right side. It's one line. As one comes up, you go to it.
Right.
And there were several people like farther back in line from him who did not agree with this interpretation of the line.
Okay. A revolt.
They were arguing and like, but he was actively arguing back with them that it was one line. And I thought it was a weird sort of like altercation, you know, of
Right.
how these people felt very differently of how to interpret how the line worked. And I don't know what the right answer is, or if there even is one, because there weren't like instructions. You know, there weren't like instructions painted on the floor of like how the line works. But both of these sides felt very strongly that their interpretation of how the line works was correct.
Well, that can't be true. That both of them can't be right.
Mhm.
There is a right and there is a wrong. Okay, so here's in my approximation, which is the right one.
Okay.
What the right way to do this is.
Okay.
Was there one line at one point? Yes.
Yeah.
Right? And then a second line started. Now the question is, how many people were in the first line when the second line started? Right?
Mhm.
If there's one person in one line and one person in another line, and then like that's not no one's beating each other out. There's 3 of the machines or whatever open, right?
Yeah.
So not the end of the world for there to be 2 people standing next to each other and then have other people line up behind them. That's a natural organization that just happened. It's part of the social interaction, right?
Right.
But if there's one line,
Mhm.
right, and there's like 8 people in it, and then the first person to walk up to that line and be like, there's 2 lines, and then go stand and make their own line, that's an asshole. The second person that queues up behind him could be an asshole, right? Because depending on how many people are in the other line, do you know what I mean? Like, why do you think everyone's standing over here and just that asshole's over there?
Right.
Context clues,
True.
motherfucker.
Yes.
After that, if there's 2 people in a line, everyone else after that is just a victim of perception, right?
Yeah.
They show up, they get in whatever line. It looks like there's 2 of them. They can't be blamed. They're just following the idiot.
Right. Yeah.
But the ball's on a person. Let's say there's 8 people in line, and this guy's like, "Not for me, there aren't." I'm the number 1 spot in line number 2.
Yeah, that's a jerk move.
It's a dick move. It's just the worst thing you could. You're just a bad person. Like you're not like I don't think you're like dangerous to the world.
Right.
But I think that you're just a shitty person. You probably should like people should treat you that way.
Yeah. Like after that, there's going to be several people who go to their friends later that day who are like, let me tell you about this jerk that I saw at Home Depot.
Yeah, I wouldn't even wait until I left the store. I would call him a jackass in the store right there next to him to make sure that he was aware.
Yeah.
That he was a dickwad.
Yeah.
But further than that, I think like the solution to that problem is everybody just ignore that asshole. And then when he goes to try to take his spot, you just take his spot in front of him.
Yeah, I think that's...
And then you can let him make his move however he wants to handle it. But if this motherfucker thinks he's going to start line 2 and he's going to take my register, I'm ready to check out. I've been waiting in line for a minute. You hop up here and you think you're fucking special sauce or something. I will fuck you up. I will run your face across the damn bar scanner. You know what I'm saying? Like you get in the back of the fucking line or you get in the back of an ambulance. Your call. I mean, like everybody has to wait in line. Like you don't get to think that you've beat the system because you've decided after like 5 or 8 people that you're gonna make your own line. There's a level of like societal interaction, right? People have to work as sort of a unit on some level.
The social contract.
You have to make you have to make some sort of you have to make some concessions. Like everyone can't always be in it for themselves.
Right.
So I don't know. I think that really like see a lot of people would think, Dees, why be aggressive to that guy? Just let him take the damn thing and then get out of there. No, this is a teachable moment. Right? This is a teachable moment. This is like when people seem to misunderstand how protests work, right? You can just walk up in front of him and take the register that he thought he was going to take from you. And then what? What's he do? He gets violent. Like, that's not going to fly. Society has deemed that completely fucked up. So he gets violent and then all of a sudden he gets arrested. Right?
Yeah.
Or he gets his face run across the fucking bus. You ever seen a grown man with his face pressed to a fucking laser scanner?
I have not.
It's embarrassing. I bet it's embarrassing.
I would be embarrassed for him.
Yeah. Well, he deserved it. Fuck that guy. And you know what? If you're listening to the podcast, I don't know why that would happen. But if you do, you don't get to listen anymore. Go away. It's like those assholes in traffic. You know what I mean? There's the lane that goes into a place, right? Like they close one lane and now everyone has to merge into one lane.
Yeah.
So there's a long line of cars waiting to get to location A, to get through this pinch point. And then there's always some dickhead who doesn't have his blinker on, zooms past everyone, gets all the way up to the front, and then tries to dodge his way in. Yeah. I will hit you with my car. I will park that motherfucker and step out of the... I literally hate that. It is the worst. Just don't be a dick. Like, I think people in the original line, once he notices, oh shit, because anyone can get surprised. Yeah. Right. Oh God, they closed that lane. I didn't notice. Right. And then you have to hit your blinker early, though. I think that's the way to do it. You have to hit your blinker and notify people. I need to get into this lane, and I think people should be accepting of that type of. Oh God. Yeah. Right. So that happens to everybody. It's like like when you're in traffic, right? Everybody's like stopped at a red light, and someone's trying to turn to get into your lane. Yeah. People will like go bumper to bumper to stop that person from turning in. I think every single person that's in that line should allow one person from the turning lane in. Yeah, because then you're freeing up the congestion. Yeah. Yeah. On top of all that, one for one, nobody gets dramatically slowed down. Right? Everyone's one car late to wherever they were going.
Yeah.
Perfectly reasonable. Traffic is moving. Everybody's cool. But what happens is either nobody lets someone in, which is a really dick move for everyone in the line to just bumper to bumper that motherfucker, and now his whole day is ruined, or for them to pull out and then have 9 cars behind them pull out so that everyone behind them is like just one for one it.
Yeah.
As a society, we should be better people to like
Agreed.
We want to help somebody without completely ruining everyone else's day behind you.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's fair.
I think so.
I think when you pitched this idea for this intro, I was like, this is the one. Because a lot of people need to hear this. I don't think necessarily our fans need to hear this.
Right.
Our listeners.
Yeah.
Because they all seem like super awesome people. Hey, thanks for joining us. but people in general, play this loudly with your windows down as you drive. Just to replay this intro a bunch of times.
Just don't be a jerk.
Don't be a dickwad. Yeah. You have to say it the nice way. Don't be a jerk. And then I'm like, part of me wants to like, every time somebody does one of those types of things,
mm-hmm.
I just want to go home. I want to shit in a bag. I want to pour like 2 ounces of water in it. I want to spin it closed so it's real tight. I want to poke some holes in it, and I want to club them over the head. So they get the poop water. Just sprinkle out over them like a decanter. Kind of sprinkle a little bit.
Hate that.
Yeah, I hate when that happens. I hate when people hit with their poop decanter. No, I just, you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I'm so glad you asked me this because there is a right answer there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I agree. I don't know why some people are so like they see a line and they're like, well, that's not for me, you know, or someone trying to just turn. They're like, well, I don't have to help them.
I'm like, yeah, it is for you. Oh God, I'm like zesty as shit right now. I feel this one real deep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? If there's a situation like, because the 2 that I thought of was after you said this one, I was like, the cars, the
mm-hmm.
pulling into merging into a lane.
Yeah.
That's what I thought, but I'm sure there are instances where this kind of thing happens.
Yeah.
Politics seems like it's happening right now.
Also,
I didn't win the election, so I think I'll just fucking, rules don't apply to me.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do. Go to prison.
Yep.
So, I bet there are others though.
Oh, I'm sure.
Like buffet line physics. What do you think?
Well, like at the library that I work at, just the other day, I was helping someone and I was in the middle of like literally having a conversation with them, and someone else walked up and just interrupted us and started talking about something they needed. And I turned to them and I said, I'll help you as soon as I've finished helping this other person. And I went back to my conversation with the first person, and I had to get something off the hold shelf for them.
Right.
And when I got up to do that, as I was coming back, the second person interrupted again. And they're like, I could be working right now if you would just give me this thing that, I interrupted you about that I need.
I'm like, if you don't stop talking to me while I'm helping this other person, you're going to be working my foot out of your fucking colon.
And it's like if you see someone who is currently in the middle of helping someone else, why do you think that you are entitled to interrupt them helping the first person to help you?
Right. Like that's what I mean though. Is like that's the whole essence of it, right? The first person to decide that they can make a second line
mm-hmm.
has literally disrespected everyone else in the other line.
Yeah.
Now, that being said, just like you were talking about with that there's a guy who's sort of like engineering that he's like, well, there was one line and everyone's gonna like fuck that guy. Like that guy is just as bad as the first guy. Everyone should just know this. You don't have to be instructed.
Yeah.
And if you have to tell a person that there's only one line,
mm-hmm.
then like, I mean, you're coming off like an asshole. So the solution, I think, for me is just make a mental note of when it's your turn to go up and do it.
Yeah.
And let the fucking dickhead try to stop me. I'm just gonna start carrying a brick with me when I go to Lowe's.
Oh no.
Come on.
You could just get one there. They have them there.
I'll just get one of those. Oh man.
Well, do you want to go to this week's episode?
I do. I really like these episodes.
Okay, good. I'm glad. This is Dragon Heist, episode 61, Craniaquarium.
Oh, I love it.
I was like trying to figure out how to, because you suggested this title, so I was figuring out how to like type it out.
Craniaquarium.
One of you will have to attune to the stone. It's intelligent. It'll be very picky on who it attunes to. I highly doubt it'll attune to me.
It's not gonna do it to me. All right, one of you guys.
I have an intelligence of 0 or 11. So,
Quote. Can we get that clip?
yeah, I have an intelligence of 0. Yes.
I'm not what you would call an intelligent man.
Yeah.
I sometimes suck the juice out the back of the carburetor just to see if it make my lip numb again.
Miss Adrie, you think this is something you can handle?
I don't want to.
Oh, be friends with the brain rock.
I feel like, you've been carrying this stone like this whole journey, Rayne. I feel like you should continue that journey.
Fine. Let's leave it to Grandpa to get things done.
Look, if one of us is gonna die,
it might as well be me. Is that
it's
what
good that you had a good run?
Yeah.
You've seen so many things like the invention of bread.
Yeah. All right. I'll take my sister. I'll attune myself to the stone. We'll go find the vault. And then we'll, as Mr. Kaeviir said, figure out where we go from there.
All right.
Done.
He extends his hand. A shake, I believe, is how you sign deals.
Well, let's just agree that we agree, and we'll just move on with that.
It's like social distancing guy. Come on.
The Mind Flayer nods as you see him crack the rib cage and pull it off.
Yeah,
with his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Amateur.
Imprecise. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll retrieve Tempest, and what is it that is required of me to attune myself to the stone? Does it understand how to do it, or am I just going to have to
like any other artifact?
My...
You have to sit with it for about an hour, and
well, that's great. Well, I guess somebody better
insert it in your butt.
I was going to say, I guess go ahead and crack open that case of wine over there. We're going to be here for a while. I will do whatever is necessary to attune myself to the stone.
Not here? Can we leave? Can we please leave before we do this?
What's wrong, Rachel?
I don't want to be here. We got your sister. Let's go.
1 second before we leave. I'm going to walk over and I'm going to take one of the
leave
books
without him?
One of the books he was reading. I'm going to set it on the side of the ribs he didn't break. Right? So that it's kind of like a step up from the flat surface. And then you just put a firm pressure on the side of the ribs. It'll fold back. It'll snap at a line across the...
I'm walking towards the exit.
And then I'm going to head out. Yeah.
All you hear in the back of your head is interesting.
All right. I suppose
Fresh body, we must try this.
Fresh Body Friday. Hi, it's me and my buddy Mind Flayer here. We're streaming from down at the dock side. We found this elf bitch. She was already dead. So we're going to do a bunch of cool experiments. I think we could get her head to expand and then pop like a balloon. What do you think? Oh, that's good, Reynolds. Make sure to smash that subscribe button. Sorry.
All right. I guess we're going to the surface then. We'll backtrack back up the sewers. We'll hopefully not have to hit anything else with lightning between here and there. And yeah.
I mean, I can if we need to. Don't worry about
fine.
that. If we need to hit something with
yes.
lightning, I can still do that.
Yes.
So
don't
worry about
like that you're gonna wait to kill that brain until we're all the way back out.
Oh man, is it following us, David?
No, it's not following you.
It's limping on the roof.
I'm going to be so upset if we get all the way back up to the surface. I attune myself to this thing, and then I realize that we've got to go all the way back to where we were. But it's fine. I want to get back to the surface. I want Tempest to go back to Troll Skull Manor and stay there.
I want to go where the water is.
Yeah.
Where it's not thick with the oozy butt mud.
And then I guess we'll just I don't know. Does it make sense just to go back to Troll Skull?
Yeah.
Rest, get cleaned up. I can do the attunement, and then we can set out to wherever it is we're supposed to go, wherever the magic rock tells me.
What was that quote from Supernatural? Can Kevin read the chicken scratch on the God Rock? I love that shit.
Unless there's a better idea, I guess that's what we will do. All right.
Sounds good to me.
That's what we'll do.
Okay.
I got tubes to check on.
Yeah.
All right.
While we're walking back, I'll ask Tempest if she managed to hear anything while she was in captivity of interest.
Checking her brain, dude.
Yeah, I'm trying not to think about that.
She's like, he really doesn't like Xanathar.
Well, nobody really likes Xanathar, but
plus it sounds like she's kind of thinking about and rolling her head back. I think he's on the run. I've seen people on the run before, and the way he's sounding, the defensive he's getting, the way it's like he's running from something. The Gith startled him.
So you think he's running from the Gith Yankees?
You think he owes them money? That's why he's trying to get
I've
paid?
never seen a Gith before. That's what he called them when he brought him in. But no, they cleared out quite a few of his infected.
So you think he's genuinely scared of these things?
From the way it sounded, they came here directly hunting him.
Interesting. Well, all right. Duly noted. Mr. Kaeviir, we might keep our eyes peeled for more of these Gith. And if we do find one, maybe we
enlist them.
Well, interrogate or at least question, see if we can get their side of the story.
Just let them beat the hell out of each other and then finish the job.
Well, I'll put to you this way. This thing's pretty damn powerful and scary as hell. And if it's scared of these Gith, then just makes me wonder. I don't want to necessarily get rid of one problem just to inherit a larger one. But yeah, I'll go back and I mean, we weren't given any kind of a timetable or anything. I do want to make a perception check though as we walk to see if we're being followed or tracked by any of our friends,
or if your sister's acting weird. You know her, so you're the only one that would be able to determine that.
Yeah, I mean, I would think I could sense that. I rolled a perception of a 13 just to see. I don't know if that's going to be good enough.
You're not seeing anything different in her. I mean, she seems fine. You're not seeing any behavior changes. And you don't see anyone tracking you guys either.
Okay. I ask her if you hear voices in your head?
It's just the mind flayer and that little brain thing from time to time.
Well,
That brain thing was creepy.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell her some of what I think I know, so better she not freak out about that. Yeah, otherwise I'm just heading back to the manor and getting situated to get the attunement done.
All right.
Same. I'm not attuning. Oh, I should attune to the axe. Yeah, I'll do that.
All right. So you guys get back there. No real rush. Cedric kind of sits more on the roof watching the outside, keeping an eye on the place.
I'm taking a bath.
I want to see if Victor made it here.
All right. Victor is there. Your aunt's also there, and so is Rorden.
Okay.
Victor's kind of tied up right now by your aunt.
Oh, is she yelling at him?
Like tied up or actually tied up?
Figuratively,
tied up. She tied him to a chair.
Oh. Okay.
Literally.
You guys get in, she's just staring at him.
What did you do?
Elf families are weird.
I mean, he's a precocious young man, but I mean, is tying him to a chair really? I mean, far be it for me to intercede in your child rearing skills here, but seems a little odd.
It was the only way to stop him from catapulting Rorden. He was told he couldn't go after you guys in the sewers, and he didn't take it well.
We appreciate it, you little shit. I'm gonna like rub my poop covered gauntlet on his head.
You smell worse than Adrie's spell thingy.
Yeah, we were in the shit river under the city. It's crazy down there.
I point to him and go, I did that.
The kid just was like,
oh, kid, give me a hug. I've been too rough on you.
Don't touch that.
Oh, sorry, you got a chunk there. Let me get that off you. Oh, it's smeared right in.
Shit.
My bad.
You're getting scrunchies everywhere.
All right, you want to take a bath? I'm gonna head down into the basement.
All right, have fun with your tubes.
You're at Adrie's.
We don't have time for that. We don't have time for me to fuck around with my tubes.
I got your message.
Okay. Good.
Don't head to Undermountain without you.
Yeah. Thank you.
I'm assuming it went well downstairs.
Kind of. I don't know. I don't really like how it went.
What's wrong? I'm yelling from downstairs.
She looks at Rorden, take Victor outside. He's like, what?
Just drags the chair.
Yeah. Victor's like, damn it.
Oh wait, all right. Sorry, just a second. Here, Victor, in case there's like a food cart or something. I'm talking to him even though he's still tied to a chair, and I'm taking out a coin, and then I'm doing my magical tinkering to make it smell like a fart, and then I'm just tucking it in his front pocket. There you go. In case there's like a food cart or something.
Oh,
okay, bye.
God. This sucks. As he's getting drug out.
It's not
Rorden's
often.
like, holy crap, Victor. You
He's
really
got that
rubbed some stuff on you.
That's something about Mary hair pushed up thing.
He gets dragged out. Your aunt just kind of sits down. How bad did it go? Looks like you got your sister.
Yes, we did. It's complicated.
All right. Can I help you uncomplicate it?
Well, it's going to depend on how cool we get about things real fast.
We should have just killed him while we were there.
I don't know that would have necessarily been best course of action? First off, I have reason to believe that it wasn't going to be just as easy as stabbing him. I mean, he does have the ability to get into our heads. So aggression, last time I think we got very lucky that we didn't die.
Well, we're more powerful since then, and it would have been better to do that rather than try to buddy up with him and run his errands.
Well, no, this is simply stalling for time and information.
She's like, I'm intrigued.
And baths.
So you got your sister back in the mind flayers alive.
Yes.
Does he have the stone?
No. And I procure and hold it out.
How did this work?
Well, we sort of came to a gentleman's agreement that my sister would be allowed to go free if we, in turn, utilize the stone to locate whatever it is it's supposed to find. Now, on the exterior, it may seem like we somehow managed to just walk off scot-free, but I don't think it's that simple. This creature has got its tendrils into everything. No pun intended. So I'm pretty sure that we're being watched and followed, even if we don't realize it. And any misstep on our part is going to bring down holy hell on all of us. So again, this is mainly just to stall for time. There's also another wrinkle that my sister has pointed out. While we were down there, we noticed that this mind flayer had killed 3 creatures. He called them Gith.
Her eyes kind of widen.
Githanki. Yes. He seems to be concerned about them, shall we say. Almost, as my sister put it, afraid of them.
Githanki's hunt mind flayers, ithalids.
Well, are they a bigger threat than he is?
Not to normal society.
I see.
Some of them can get kind of crusadic about their quests. And they get extremely possessive of their belongings. There was once a story of a Githanki silver blade being lost in the mirror of dead men, and they got extremely possessive about getting it. Ended up killing a bunch of lizard folk for it.
Well, now that's interesting you say that. They're possessive about maybe Mr. Kaeviir's idea that he owes somebody money isn't quite as far-fetched as I originally thought it was.
Did you see any other mind flayers with him?
No. As far as I can tell, he seems to be the only one. More importantly, I get the sense he's on the run.
Then he's not attached to the elder brain.
I'm not up to date on mine.
She's like, most mind flayers are in somewhat communities. Multiples of them, they follow brain, an elder. If they get disattached from it, they either join another one, some of them, or some of them have been known to run rogue, go solo.
Well, that would certainly appear that that's what this one's doing.
I'm going to come up from the basement, fully armored, lighting a cigar.
That was fast.
It's a bath. It's not a fucking vacation.
Did you take your armor off?
I took it off.
It almost sounds like he doesn't have the protection of the hive.
Well, if he's by himself, and my sister said that the 3 Gith Yankee that managed to track him down made pretty short order of those that he had already managed to take over, but I guess he got the upper hand on him after all. But
we're talking about the squid guy?
Yeah.
What's to stop us from just turning him into the other people? The what do they call
them? Githanki?
Well, we'd
have to find a way to contact them.
Oh, they're here.
Then you'd have to find them here.
Well, if you know so much about them, any chance you know how to do that? Do we just go put out an advertisement in the paper, or do we have to put up posters?
I spent some time in my youth in the Elven Library in Everesca.
Oh, and what did you learn?
Lots of
I
things
told
in the
you.
library.
Oh,
Finding Githyanki, that you might have to check Blackstaff, see if any portals or anything have opened or anyone has traveled. Like the mind flayers, they're not from this world.
seems to me like I wouldn't mind having the assistance of the professionals in this case, because I don't know if we can. I
Sorry,
just
that was too good not to do. Sorry.
I know. I'm concerned that we are not going to be capable of taking this thing on our own.
Well, what's the God Rock saying? The brain stone.
He hasn't spent the time to attune to it yet.
Well, then perhaps I should go ahead and go upstairs and do that.
Yeah, go upstairs and become one with the rock.
I shall return.
How's everything going down here? You seem upset, Adrie. You all right?
No, I just thought our plan was to go in and rescue Rayne's sister and kill it, and instead, like, we didn't even try that. We just talked to it and said we would do an errand for it.
It's easier to not kill things than to risk us dying and it going about its day.
It was down there, like, dissecting people. You just want
They're
to
already dead.
give it because it killed it. It
Look.
killed them and then dissected them, and you want to give him a bunch of money and let him go on his way.
I don't want to let him go on his way. I want to know what he wants. Us stopping him, if there's a greater goal in mind, only means that the next one up can go ahead and do the same thing he's doing. Let's learn what it is that he wants before we kill him, before we stop him. If it's something bad, then we stop him. Paying someone to stop killing people isn't the worst thing in the world.
Or just kill him to stop him from killing people.
What if there's something that's really dangerous that he's trying to get his hands on? And we, by not knowing about it, allow him to die. And then the next person comes along and it's a problem all over again. Let's figure out what the goal is, and then we can end it. When you're on a battlefield, you don't just kill every soldier. You try to put an end to the war. Everyone can draft new soldiers.
I think it was really dumb that we didn't fight him.
Well, we disagree. If the time comes where we need to, then we can.
Okay.
You want a cigar?
Do we have to go like attune to an axe or something?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
From Rayne's standpoint as a politician, there's what people say and then there's what people do. If he's got the ability, if it has the ability to control people, then
Money's easy.
well, you're right. I mean, I understand it about not wanting, but I'm just saying, if it wanted the stone for itself, to me, the fact that it is, I mean, it could have just come and killed us and taken it, right? It led us down there. It had a discussion with us. It wasn't just like you walk in the door and rocks fall on you, all die.
But
So-
you needed to bind to it. The stone needs some decision making.
And he can, right. So he needed something.
He couldn't
right?
brain slave someone. He needed to have somebody that was not thralled to him in order to actually open it. So we
Right.
have the leverage when we possess the stone, right? He gets the
Right.
stone. What's he going to do? Hand it to some poor kid and be like, hey, I'll give you $5 to put the
No.
stone in your ass until it talks to you. That's how I imagine a tuning works, which is why I'm so slow to do this axe.
I was about to say, I have a rock. You've got an axe.
I got a hell of an axe.
Well, I mean, that being said, what's done is done.
Mhm.
With the attunement process, what ends up happening as I get attuned to the stone?
As you slowly attune, or as you spend time with the stone and begin to attune to it, you almost feel like it's peering into your mind, learning about you, running through your memories.
Okay.
Like it's the longer you attune and the more you begin to recognize its voice, it's a subtle voice, and there's a darkness to it.
So is there like a soul or a sentient being within the rock, or
it's a sentient.
Oh.
You didn't hear the mind flayer say in your heads that it has its own mind. It's an alien. It wouldn't attune to him.
I see. Just like skip over whatever you find between ages 12 and 15. None of that's important.
In the back of your mind, you start hearing the words clearly. I think everything is important.
Well, yeah, I guess so. I'm not going to argue with you on that. So, what is it? What do I call you? Rock? Stone?
I am the god Golor.
Oh, well, it wasn't where I was addressing someone that high up the food chain. My apologies. Golor, is it? Well, I guess you know everything there is to know about me.
Those were embarrassing years, 12 to 15.
I told you not to look at those. I told you specifically to skip over those, okay? But
knowledge is power. And I am a god.
Well, you're a voice from a rock right now, but okay.
I wasn't always a rock.
Oh. Well, what were you before you were a rock? A mountain?
A boulder.
In your tongue, they call it aboleth.
Ooh. Do I know what one of those are?
I don't know if Rayne does.
I probably wouldn't. In my tongue, it says aboleth. In my brain, I have no idea what that is. Enlighten me, O Golor.
Ancient, powerful, old. He flashes what a great aboleth in your mind would look like.
Okay. Nathan knows what that looks like.
Yeah.
What does Rayne see?
You see this large creature, like a large let me describe it for you.
Kind of like a big catfish, right?
Yeah.
Tentacled fish whale. Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah. Wow.
Large mouth, teeth, multiple tentacles, long fin.
Yeah, you're a real ladies' man, I see, Golor.
If you believe in that trivialness, then yes.
Okay. Well, how did you end up in a rock then? Might I ask?
That's not important.
Oh, everything's important, Golor. Knowledge is power, is it not?
But you are not a god. I am.
Well, yeah, you saw my 12 to 15-year-old years. I think you owe me one.
Fine. I was trapped here by an artifact.
Okay.
I've learned since.
All right. Well, apparently you're the key.
Do not trust that tentacled mouth creature.
Oh no, I don't trust him.
Only trust me.
Oh, well, okay. When you put it that way, now I'd have no reason to trust either one of you. Why should I trust you over him?
Because now I'm in your mind.
Well, he was in my mind too.
Like a fucking dance club up there.
As a matter of fact, it's getting kind of crowded.
Not like I am.
Oh.
This butthole ain't big enough for two stones.
And what do you mean? What exactly does that mean?
Well, don't disappoint me.
You've seen my 12 to 15-year-old. You know what the probability of that is.
Yes. It probably would have been better for the elf.
She didn't
think she's smarter.
Yeah, well, she didn't want to touch it. Here we are. You got me instead. All right. Well, what is it? What is it that you? I mean, why do I need the assistance of a giant catfish god to find a treasure? I'm a little confused. Typically, keys are little steel dangly things that are on a ring that you just put in a hole and you turn it, and Bob's your uncle. You got your treasure. This seems to be hidden.
I'm one of
oddly.
2 people that know where the vault is.
Well, who's the other one?
The one who put it there.
Yeah, well, he's gone.
He's, from what I understand from all the talk I've heard, I believe he's in Neverwinter.
Oh, okay.
November is now the open lord of Neverwinter, I believe.
Oh, I see. All right. Well, if that being the case, then why you? Why ancient god trapped in a rock?
That was part of his collection.
Oh, collection. So you were part of the treasure?
No.
Okay.
But it's not a dangly. You need 3 keys to get in.
I need 3.
It's not a normal vault you seek.
Well, I kind of had a feeling that might be the case when I was told I had to talk to a big rock.
I'll tell you the keys if you read me the books the Mind Flayer has.
Boy,
And I'm not talking the ones on his podiums.
What books?
The
are we
ones in
talking
his
about?
collection.
Oh. Any particular volume of interest, or do I just need to read them all?
Read them all. Knowledge is power, and he must have knowledge from beyond the stars. It's been a long time since I've been there.
All right. Do you know what this treasure is?
Gold. A lot of gold.
Nothing else? Nothing spooky
November.
or mystical? Or
Not that I remember. His imagination lacked.
So just money. I don't know how I would roll an insight check on a god inside my head. I don't even know if that's possible, to be perfectly honest. I guess
the
I'm
edges
just
of the stone smooth.
All right. Well, let's just say I go ahead and I read these books, and by the transitive property, you end up getting all this knowledge. What do you plan on doing with it?
Time out. I sort of tuned out of this conversation for a second. When I came back, I'm like, are you in taking like fucking Portuguese lessons or something? If I read these books, you'll tell me I'll be able to speak Portuguese in 2 weeks? I don't believe it. Sorry.
I am.
What I do with the knowledge is I could keep collecting it. And then I will leave you and I will find someone else smarter to learn more from.
Oh my God, dude. You just got
a burn.
You got friend zoned by a fucking rock. Man.
That's the nicest boulder-based backhanded compliment I've ever gotten.
Oh man, I thought you were alliterating.
Well, this I certainly seem to be racking up an awful lot of IOUs, so to speak, here.
You're a politician. You'll get used to it.
Yeah, I know. All right, so I have to read a book or
all
several books. How many is all?
I don't know how many he has. I just know he must have a collection.
Can we be a little bit more specific? If he's got 150 books, we're going to be here for a while.
I have the time. I'm not going anywhere.
I, on the other hand,
do not have the time.
Yeah, I, on the other hand, according to my my associates, I could die at any time.
I'm super fucking old. Can't you tell? Look at my hair.
Find me a race like the elf or something to attach to that lives long enough to read them.
Do not. Do not even think about it. Absolutely not.
Is Rachel complaining about reading books?
No, I don't want that thing. No.
You don't want to read books for a trout?
I will read. I will read
I'm
books
sorry,
for
Ray.
myself.
It just I couldn't resist to see the reaction.
An elf, you say? Well, they live a long time, and if
They don't even sleep.
They don't even sleep, from what I understand, which means she can read
In the dark. You could just turn the lights off, save all that fuel power.
20 consecutive hours a day, only stopping for a mere 4 hours for meditation. And that's
just
it.
to ponder
4.
what she just read.
I'm going
And
to tell
she
you,
can deliver all the best messages to that giant floaty trout god in the sky.
I know. I'm sitting here thinking about it. I know me. I'm only good for probably about 4 to 6 hours at a time, and
I
I'm
can
a
only
slow
do
reader,
about
so.
20 minutes, and I tell women 3 times that long.
Well,
20 substantial. Let's not neg it.
Yeah.
Okay.
I
It's a high energy 20. I'm sorry. I'm trying to make people laugh. Everyone's in a bad mood.
Well, I suppose I can bring it up with the elf. However, I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think she's going to be too keen on the idea.
I didn't say it had to be that elf.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I don't have a treasure trove of elves at my disposal. Although, from what I understand, she's related to all of them. So maybe she can convince a cousin or an uncle or, stepbrother or something. All right. Well, I'll tell you what. I'll at least
in the docks.
I am a leader in the docks, but the docks don't have that many elves. And unfortunately, most of them, up until recently, that were there, were ended up dead.
That is unfortunate.
That's a long story.
A dwarf would do. A dwarf lives long.
I may know a couple of dwarves. Well, since I'm not up to your intellectual snuff, I suppose I will at least make an effort to find someone more suitable. And then, if that doesn't work, I'm your fallback.
Ugh.
Deal. And if you disappoint me, I'll just take over.
Come on. You don't want a trout living in your brain pan? Come on. I know all the good places to eat. At the end of a hook, at the bottom of a pond.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just sprinkle it right on top of the water.
I've never been attuned to by a genasi before.
Probably hot.
Well, apparently I'm a great big disappointment to you so far, so I apologize for that.
The weirdest conversation.
This will be interesting. You are seeking three keys.
All right. Well, then.
First one, an eye stalk of a beholder. The second, a severed hand of a drow. And the third is a scale of a brass dragon.
Oh, fuck this. Are you serious? Fuck. You can't get those on Amazon, right?
Well, gee, that just happened. I happen to have all 3 of those on me right this very second. Not.
Don't ever play cards, you lie. Horrible.
That was not a lie. That was sarcasm. Learn to tell the difference.
Making a note.
Well, that's fantastic.
I'm glad you approve.
Wait a minute.
That
if
was
he
also
makes a
sarcasm.
note and he's in your head when he makes it, is the idea yours or his, or a reminder of his idea that's in your head about a thought that came from your head?
Yes.
That's fucking weird. So you
All
have
right.
a double thought in your head when he leaves.
Yep. Everything's an echo now. I'm heading back downstairs to break the news to everyone that this has gone poorly.
All right. What have you guys been doing downstairs for the last hour?
I've been staring at this axe. I think this is how you do it. Right?
Lots of Vaseline.
Part of it, except
It's not going to fit the whole way. It's a two-hander.
You seem to have an issue with tuning to the axe.
Why?
I'll
It doesn't
give
like
you a
my
guess.
haircut?
No, I'll give you another guess.
Yeah, I don't want to guess. Okay. I just think that if I force it, it'll work. I'm a good guy, dude. I do good guy stuff all the time. I'm like talking to it. I heal people. I'm pretty cool. People like me.
I think the axe should roll an insight check.
I am a good. Yeah, roll it. Get them in that 20.
No. I didn't mean about the good guy card. I didn't about people liking you.
Even the bad shit that I do is for good things.
Well,
So
Pretty
you
fucking
do hear
chill.
a small voice in your head during the attunement. You're already bonded with someone. I cannot bond with that.
404, file not found. Oh, well, shit. Well, then you're going in a box over my lab. Hope you like the view. I'll be up there with a bunch of severed heads and a fucking hand in a jar. Any Kaeviir, any version of Kaeviir and bonded weapons don't go well. I've noticed. I'm starting to put together a theory about sentient weapons and Kaeviir. That they're like, really? And I'm like, trust me, I'm good. I'm a good guy. They're like, I'm like, no, come on, man.
Oh, the light blade.
I'm that dude.
all you got to do is just ignore the stuff from age 12 to 15 and it'll be fine.
Professionals are more difficult. You're gonna have to probably. There's a couple generations of me that you'll probably want to look past. There was one I was really into feathers in my hat. It was weird.
Yeah.
Okay, fine. I'll put them on my back anyway. You'll see. You'll rue the day. You didn't want to be friends with this guy. And don't ask me about it because I'm sensitive. You guys are like, how's the axe coming? I'm like, I don't want to. Shut up. I'm getting breakfast.
By this point, Riordan has brought Victor back in and he's not tied up anymore. And he walks down to find one of the showers in the house.
One of the
He
showers?
flicks the coin back to Adrie.
That's
Thanks.
funny to me. He's like, I'm going to look for one of the showers. I'm like, there's a fucking bucket of water in the basement. That's what I've been using.
That one's fresh, I guarantee.
Yeah, it's
I'm
only
gonna go use
I changed it like
Rayne's.
4 days ago. It's only like still you can still sort of see the bottom.
No poop water for you.
So this Adrie, anything in the last hour?
No, I didn't get a cool magic item, so I guess I'm just hanging out.
Do you want a fucking axe? You want to be friends with the fucking axe?
Well,
You want to
hey.
be friends with me?
Well, if
Hey.
you can't use it,
Hey,
Yeah.
I've got this lovely stone that I think
No.
not only is it
no,
available,
absolutely not.
but it's actually requested you by name.
It's not. I don't believe you. If it knows my name, it's because you told it my name.
No, it's because it knows everything I know. so-
Wow, that I don't want that.
Think about all the mail you could read if you knew everything he knew. You could know all his passwords.
Think about all the ways it could teach you to fold a man in a crate or in a chest. And
Yeah.
yeah,
That was, the one time worked, so I don't
Yeah.
really need
gotcha.
an additional.
Well, I got some bad news and some bad news.
Okay.
In your head, I don't think it's bad news.
Nobody
Think of it as a
asked you.
challenge.
Oh, we've had plenty of challenges.
Are you talking to your stone right now?
I'm talking to that which is within the stone.
I'm going to look at the axe and be like, we could have had this. We could have been like that. And I'm going to toss it on the floor near Adrie. Like, have fun.
No. So I've met that which is in the stone. He's a god.
My name is Golor.
His name is Golor. He told me.
Golor?
to
I
tell
am
you
awesome.
that. He also told me to tell you he's awesome.
You should all bow.
I'm not going to tell them
I'm going to
that.
bow to a fucking stone or a trout.
I'm sorry, you're talking to a rock and you've been talking to an axe for an hour?
I've been trying to talk to an axe who's being a real asshole.
Focus.
An axe hole.
Yes. So the good news is that Golor does indeed know where the vault is, what's in the vault,
What's in the vault?
Well, here's a surprise. Gold and lots of it
Yeah.
and nothing else.
Hmm.
More importantly, he knows how to open it, which is good. And it requires not one, but 3 keys.
Okay.
Now, the good news is I know what those keys are.
Okay.
The bad news is I know what those keys are.
Ooh. Super cocaine.
The first key should be easy to get for anyone.
Okay.
It's a beholder's eye stalk.
Right.
Like
used or?
I was not informed as to what the condition was. Excuse me, I put the rock up to my ear. Does it need to be intact? What condition of eye stalk are we talking about? Does it need to be one of the specific ones?
Does it need to be fresh?
I think fresh is probably. I'm sorry, Golor, you're gonna have to be a little more specific.
Fine.
You're the one that asked for it.
He's
Or
like, I
asked
need
for it.
organic eye stalk.
The eye stalk can or cannot be attached.
Free range.
It doesn't matter which eye stalk it is,
Oh, this might work out.
Okay. All right.
and
so
it does not have to be attached to the beholder. It does not have to be fresh.
All right.
I think I have a plan, guys.
Okay.
I think it's brewing. I got a plan brewing.
Tell them the best part of the last one.
Hmm.
Go ahead. You can skip the second key. Tell them the third key first.
The third key is trivial.
What's
At
the
best.
second key?
Golor, what's the second key?
Second key is the drow severed hand.
Oh, that's right. Well, we're pretty good about severed body parts, right? I mean, we've kind of well established that we're good on that. So getting a drow severed hand is not going to be much of an issue. For
Drow
us.
severed hand?
What about the hand we have? What kind of hand is that?
That's not a
Ooh.
drow.
What if we painted it? We know where
That
we can
won't
get a
work.
bunch
That
of
hand is
drows.
not a drow's hand. I can tell from here.
That one's not hard.
That one's probably the easy one.
Yeah.
The third key, again, trivial, no problem at all. Just, scale of a brass dragon. But,
A brass dragon?
brassish, yes.
Where are we supposed to find a brass dragon?
Golor, where are we supposed to find a brass dragon?
Look, I have legs.
You did at one time, or something approximating legs. I thought knowledge is power. Shouldn't you know these things?
They might help us out if we ask nice.
I would ask the older elven woman. Her eyes went wide when you said brass dragon scale.
To be fair, everybody's eyes went wide when I said that, but I'll turn to Adrie's aunt. Brass
6
dragon scale. Nothing to it, right? Right?
If it's still there, there is one in the city.
Oh, not attached to a dragon, I would assume.
Oh
correct?
no, it's attached to a dragon.
It's like a taxidermy dragon.
If it's where I heard it last, then no, it's still alive.
In the water.
It's in the bay.
I think I saw that guy.
Oh.
I think we all saw that. Furthermore,
And,
I'd like to say that there's multiple scales
you
attached to that dragon, not just
know
one.
Who can get you close to it to talk to it?
Would it happen to be a captain?
Yeah,
Yeah,
And he's a drow.
and he has a submarine
Yeah.
under his ship.
Didn't he also have a drow captive that was probably going to die at some point?
Well, we cut open the head. I cut open the heads of a few of them, so their hands are probably still there.
yeah, okay. So actually, the shopping list ain't looking all that bad right now.
Well, he was getting ready to leave last time I saw him. I don't know if he's still there.
Riston's like, is Cedric still here?
Yes.
Yeah.
He hasn't left town yet.
Hmm.
Okay.
He's not going to leave Cedric behind. He may said he was going to leave, but
That's a friend.
Cedric's grandfather served Jaraxel for years.
Who?
on
Wait. What? No, my character didn't know this.
Oh, she looks up. Not many people do. Cedric's mother is from Luskan. His grandfather was a Luskan pirate.
Oh yeah.
So his father actually served Drexel for years. And that's where Cedric started working for him. Was Cedric showed up one day and at least that's what Drexel said. I mean, that was the way Drexel told the story, that he picked up this young rogue noble and was teaching him how to how they put it, rogue it up.
I want to be friends with them in real life, and I can't because they're not real. I want to rogue it up. None of my friends want to rogue it up. My friend just wants to be old man Harry. Fucking.
So,
I want to go check.
your key to Drexel would be your friend Cedric. As if Adrie can still talk to Drexel
I talked to him.
without shooting him.
I talked to him without shooting him.
So hand.
You
that's
have
a do.
You have your father's anger.
I
sometimes.
thought about shooting him, but I didn't. So that's fine.
So drow hand, easy peasy.
Check.
Scale, probably doable.
Maybe.
Just ask. Like, yo, you got a bunch. You don't need all those motherfuckers. We're trying to do good shit over here. Help us out, dragon. And then what's the other one? Fucking eye stalk, right?
From a beholder.
Right.
We know one. Or
well, we
one.
had the pineapple baby that we killed before.
Did that have an eye stalk, or was that just the
Wasn't
main
that just-
eyeball
Yeah,
part?
I thought that was just like the
Gazers do have eye stalks.
Do they? Okay.
Hmm.
So we have to go back into the sewers to hunt another one.
But that's a lot easier than the other solution,
Yeah.
which I was thinking would be to contact the mind flayer and have him go after his enemy and get an eye stalk. Or we could set them up and tell them, hey, this guy's going to be here at this time. This guy's going to be here at this time. And they could both try to one up each other, leaving them both in the area we need. We could tell the beholder that we have a deal, that we'd like to meet him. And then when he shows up, that's the eye stalk.
Okay.
Or we could just use the pineapple babies,
Well,
which worked good.
I think that would probably be easier. Beholders are notoriously paranoid. I don't think he would just show up if you say, "Hey, let's arrange a meeting." He probably send like one of his lackeys.
Yeah.
Well,
we should tell him by no means show up at this location at this time. That would be very bad. We don't want you to do that.
Reverse psychology. There's one other small thing that needs to be addressed, and I can't stress the importance of this one.
Okay.
I got the information, but it comes with a small string attached.
What's the string?
I have to somehow manage to read all the books that our Mind Flayer friend downstairs has at his disposal, or I'm not going to be me anymore.
What does that mean?
Golor will take permanent residence up here.
In order to open the thing?
No, if it was sort of a quid pro quo. He gave me the necessary keys and is now holding me kind of sort of hostage, that if I don't carry through on my end of the bargain, it won't really make any difference.
So I like to think this as a servant and a god relationship, don't think this as a hostage relationship.
I'm sorry, I happen to think those are one and the same.
Wait a minute. You have a god that has a task for you?
You are my cleric. Shh.
Oh, I am not a cleric. You saw what I did between ages 12 and 15.
I'm going to stare off for a minute, and then I'm going to look at Adrie and be like, you made any deals lately?
No.
Thank God. Boy, this group is getting weird.
kidding. I believe we established that on day one.
Hmm.
All right. Well, we have a shopping list. And
Pineapple baby first.
okay.
Easy enough.
Do you have like a time limit on when you need to read these books?
I
Could
was
we-
going to say that had not been established yet.
I mean,
So then
does
no.
it have to be any like what if like today you just read a couple books on like metallurgy or something? Because I have a lot of those upstairs and I've read them a lot, so you can borrow them.
Golor has specifically requested those of the Mind Flayer.
What is metallurgy?
Or those might suffice.
Yeah, I mean, I've read them a lot. Some of the pages are kind of singed. There's a lot of notes in them.
Okay.
But yeah, I mean, you can.
What about Animorphs? There's like 150 of those. And they're like quick. The words are real big.
Actually, so Golor, as I talk to myself,
Yes, servant.
does
Oh yeah, that's a good wrinkle. Keep doing that. That's good. That's the kind of thing I would want to do all the time.
I'm sorry, I'm
Um,
having too much fun.
no, it's okay. That's okay. Does it have to be? I mean, is any knowledge legal tender, as it were, or I mean, there are books all over the place.
I require knowledge I do not have yet.
So, as long as I'm feeding you knowledge, you're happy.
Yes.
Okay, I think we can make this work.
Hey, can you ask him a question since he has all that knowledge? You ever seen a
Sure.
giraffe? You ever seen a giraffe? Just ask him that.
Well, I don't think I need to ask him. I think he hears it. I'm just waiting for the response.
Do they
I
have,
have seen the long neck creature.
That
do they
would be
have ribs in their neck? Because it feels like they should. Otherwise, they just deflate, right?
Deflate?
It does. There is a valve that moves actually for the blood flow when it lowers its head. So it slows it so it does not explode when the head lowers down.
Interesting. But they don't have ribs in their neck. Like, I was just thinking if people are killing cows for ribs, it would just save a lot of time and money if they just kill a giraffe. You can get like 2 years worth just on one giraffe.
I'm gonna run upstairs and get some books for you, Rayne.
Thank you. Now,
Victor's
there
just
is
looking at you weird now.
well, okay, just
You
for
have
the
a
record.
god in your head.
Well, okay, for the record, I have a god in my head right now.
Hey, don't
Now-
judge.
eh.
I'm not.
I
Can I
mean-
have him?
Who's asking me this?
Victor.
Hey, books.
Do not. That's
Books.
my little brother.
Your
No.
little brother serves the trout god
I
now.
will
Just wait a
lightning
second.
zap
Wait,
you.
wait a second. Well, we've seen how effective you are with that, so I'm not that worried.
I killed a spider in one hit.
Yeah, but you missed it twice. Before that,
But
you
when
pissed it
I
off.
hit,
Yeah, well, I
Hey,
have
that's
more than
knowledge you might not have known. Did you know that she misses with lightning when it's important?
I have more than 27 hit points. So,
I was there. I was in the pocket. I watched it all.
yes, I let's hear me out for a second. Golor is willing to accept me as a conduit for his knowledge.
Not the child. His hands are filthy.
He can wash his hands. Look, he's an elf. He's going to live to be
Victor is-
700.
He
Oh.
shouldn't.
He's not an elf.
Not an elf. That's right.
He's just a lame ass. But I could see how you could get him confused.
Mm.
Sorry. You always talk shit about me being human. So there. That's
when
for
do-
you.
When do I do that?
All the time. You're like, well, I guess you have to go to sleep. 'Cause I
Oh
don't
yeah,
have to.
sick burn.
Be
What
that
an
as
I know. I
insult.
told you you guys were lame. You didn't believe me.
Be that as it may. All right. He's a hell of a lot younger than I am.
Yeah,
So,
by a lot. Look
by
at him. Jesus.
Yes. Theoretically, he'll live much longer than I will. But he also has a knack for reading, and he studies magic, and he does a lot of things that probably could potentially be useful to you in that whole knowledge arrangement.
Rachel's head is shaking so fucking hard. Her head is like back and forth.
I am not this child's parent nor guardian, nor do I have any legal right
to hold a god back from his brain.
Well, true. But, it would be a better host.
No.
Oh shit, I was muted. If you should die, he seems a suitable replacement.
Well, it's not a matter of if I should die, but when. I'm not immortal.
With the right book, you can be. Have you heard of lichdom?
I may have. Yes.
I've studied it.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. Let's just put a pin in that right now.
You sure? There's plenty of benefits to being undead.
Holy shit! Why didn't I get this guy? Very cool.
Well, okay. First things first. I read, we find keys, and then we'll just figure out how this arrangement works going forward. Shall we make haste for, as you like to put it, the pineapple baby?
Let's do it.
Well, one down, two to go. Let's go.
Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism Plays Dragon Heist. If you would like to support us, please check out our Patreon. We're at patreon.com/freelance_heroism. We have different things there. Character journals, art, bloopers, stuff like that.
Our cast includes me as Dr. Kaeviir the Raven, Rachel as Adrie the Highborn Artificer, Nate as Rayne Dockside Officiant, and of course, D-Walk as Dr. Midnight, and everybody else in the game. Thanks for listening to Freelance Heroism Plays Dragon Heist. And we don't invoice in this group. We'll be back next week with more episodes, so stay tuned. I'm not kidding. I would have hit that dude with a fucking brick. I would be so mad. It makes me so angry.
Yeah. I just don't understand how they think that.
I'm glad I got this right, because I feel like there was a good chance that I might have got it wrong.
No, I don't think so. I think you're right about this.
Okay.
One of the few instances.
I like how you modified it about this.
About this
very isolated particular thing.
Mm-hmm.
You may have been right.
Unlike last episode where we argued about the create water details.
I think that you're just straight up wrong there. I don't think there's any real negotiation to be had.
I am not wrong about this.
I could look up how the principles of water work. Right?
If something's in water and you slosh the water around, the stuff in the water is also going to move.
I'm not saying that you're not going to get very small particles that are lighter than the density of the water. I'm talking about the large chunks of poop. Right?
I think some of those would still be picked up and carried by the water. I think so.
There's no way. They're too dense. It's a heterozygous mixture. So the resistance of gravity's pull on them when you move the water they'd stay in motion. That's how physics works. An object in motion stays in motion, and an object at rest stays at rest unless acted upon by an outside force. Now, the outside force is less powerful than the gravity, hence the reason water stays down on the ground and not lifts and floats around and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So there you go. Physics.
I think you're wrong.
I'm not.
Well,
so you can think I'm wrong. That's sort of the argument we're having. Is that you think I'm wrong?
Because you are wrong.
I'm not. I'm also not wrong about animal skin on books, because that's what it is. It's leather. They're leather. So if you can take a dead body and you can feather fall a dead body.
Who says you can feather fall a dead body?
You did in that argument.
I don't know. I'll have to go back and
Yeah,
listen
yeah.
to my
You're
argument.
renegotiating. See how deeply held stance we have. We don't even remember how we feel about things until after I have to play back a fucking clip for you.